All right, welcome to your video on interest number 3. Really, if you did interest 1 and you did interest 2, this one is like it doesn't really have a lot of new things. You're gonna use graphs to find some things out again. You write some equations, you identify growth rates, things like that. So really, we're just gonna go over one problem. There's not a whole lot going on here, and we're not even going over every question on it. But I do want to go over a few if you want a little bit extra help with it. So let's look at number 1. Bird species, they're all dying off, I don't know, climate change and deforestation, things like that. Anyway, so the birds are dying off. It's horrible. We want them to, survive. But anyway, last year there was 1,400 birds, and now there's only 1,308 birds. And the first thing is asking, what is the growth rate? Well, to get the growth rate is the percent of growth, like what rate is it increasing by. It's not going up, it's going down, but we'll get there in a second. So you take how many you're at now and how many there were, and you divide it. It's a fraction, you can get that. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator to do 1,308 divided by 1,400. And I get 0.934285, that number. Yeah, I'm going to get that, which is about 0.9. I don't remember the numbers. 342, 857. I'm just going to keep going there. This is not the percent growth. In fact, it's not growing at all. It's decaying. We're losing a percent. And we need to figure out what percent is lost. So if you quickly just convert this to a percent, you're looking at 93.42857%. Well, you can figure out what percent was lost by just taking 100% and subtracting that off. Which I'm just going to take this number, last answer. Clear that. Just do 1 minus it. So 0.9342857,143. You get an answer, right? So looking at about 6.571. I'm gonna put about 6.571. Make sure I read that right. 6.571. Perfect. So we're looking at about that percent. So this is the percent lost, and so I'm gonna put a little negative on that. But yeah, there you go. We figured out what percent growth. We have negative growth. It's decaying. We're losing birds, not gaining them. So we're looking at negative 6.571%. All right, B. Write an equation to model the population. Well, easy peasy, right? We got the amount of birds left, and we can even turn this into a function. A of t. And we got our principal amount, which there was 1,400 birds at the start, so 1,400. And then in the parentheses, and the top here, we got t for years. And then what goes in there is what percent is left over. Don't put the dead things in your equations, put the alive things. So we're actually just going to take this and put it in here, but let's round it off. So we have an equation that's a little bit rounded off here. So we got 934. We'll do third decimal place. So now we got an equation. It models it. There's about 93.4% of the birds left each year. And we're going to go with D. I'm confident in your ability to take 10 and plug it in and get a value out of it. But let's do another graphing one. So if the population drops below 100, then it will be irreversible and they'll never come back, which will be a shame because, having a variety of birds is nice. And it's asking, when will this happen? Well, we're just going to take our equation and plug it in, and we're going to graph it. And this one's going to come down because it's decreasing the value. And then, again, to figure out when it's going to be 100, you just graph another line. Graph another line like this. Hold on, my sketch is not like I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to draw this. And this line, let's do y equals 100. And we can find out the intersection. And that'll be when it will be 100. So I'm going to go graphing now. Delete my old ones. I'm gonna do y equals, because that's the buttons I have. We got 1400 times 0.9. I forgot what it is. 934. 934. Close exponent. I'm just gonna do x power. I am in kind of the old problem we were looking at. And now I'm gonna graph my second one, just y equals 100. Nice. So we got our two graphs. We need to find out where they cross. So you just click on the intersection, and we got this 38.651, comma 100. 38.651, comma 100. There, and hopefully I didn't write any of those numbers down wrong. Aha, I did pretty good. So you got this point. You need to be able to tell which one is the right one. It's this one. That's the time. So we're going to put about 38.651 years. Ta-da! We figured it out. Hooray! That's it. We just kind of go over a few examples, like what does growth rate mean, how to write your equation again, how to figure out where it reaches a certain point. But there you go. Good luck on the rest of them.